All right, we got kind of a serious topic today we're going to discuss, even though I was just doing my normal beginning hijinks or hijinks or whatever you want to call it. But I've been seeing a lot of comments lately that have been really kind of discerning towards this, discussions about retro game collection addiction and toy addiction, collection addiction, any kind of collection addiction in general. And those two comments have always been, one is being, it's better to be addicted to collecting because you can resell from your addiction. A lot of people have been commenting that you make money off of the addiction, and that is honestly not true. And the other topic we're going to talk today is that people will be blaming that they are investing in their collection just to justify the addiction itself. So firstly, we're going to go into why just because you're collecting doesn't mean that it's, collecting addiction isn't that bad, because you could just resell the stuff. So we've been having good conversations about this in comments outside of videos, and I've been talking with a few of the people on here, and they've had some good points coming up. One of the biggest points was people tend to buy these games on a limb, on, FOMO, fear of missing out. So they're buying all these games all the time, and then they spend all their money. Their fun money and everything like that. They don't put any money aside. Honestly, I don't know a lot of people that use credit cards too much for buying video games, but I had a commenter say that in the past they had used credit cards to buy games because they were trying to build a massive collection, all within a small amount of time. But the only issue with this, guys, is that over time, stuff like with credit cards and everything with that, you have to pay interest, and interest gets expensive, 15, 20% on what you make, so you start losing money in the end. Otherwise, stuff goes wrong. We have an issue in the house right now that coming up here in spring and summer, we're going to actually have to basically dig out our whole side of our house, our sewer line going to the road, and inside of our house the concrete and everything, and we're going to have to dig it all out to basically replace the whole pipeline going out there, because it's full of tree roots and it's falling apart and it's caving in. So we were told we got till then to make it. So when stuff like this pops up out of nowhere, you need money fast. And a lot of people will be like, well, I got these, you got those retro games, just sell them, and then you should be able to get some money towards it. As true as that is, there is some hiccups that really affect that. So a lot of times, I'm lucky that it's not an exact emergency. I have a few months that I can slowly start selling some stuff away if I have to kind of build some money, because it's going to cost, around $10,000 just to do this project. But it has to be done because it's part of the house, and it has to be done. Just because we don't want our poop. We don't want our poop in the basement, guys. But there's people out there, too, that don't understand this. They will, have something happen in their car that'll cost $3,000, and they need it now, or they might not get their car back. The mechanic will hold on to it till they pay. So they have to go and try and sell stuff and get money, if they don't have it on hand. And I've personally seen this myself. That was the way I got my top loader for my NES pretty cheap. I paid $50 for it, and it goes for a pretty good price. But the guy needed money fast because his vehicle was on the side of the road and it was getting towed, and they wouldn't give him his vehicle back until he paid the towing fee, so he had to get money quick. I don't know how much he ever paid for that, but if you look at it like that, if you have to make money fast, you will almost take whatever you can get for those games, whatever you can get for those consoles, and if you paid more than that, if you had to make a quick sale, then you lose out. You can say that, that this is, it's not that bad. People don't I guess I should say, too, is that some people don't understand how aggressive the collecting addiction can be, too. Now, there's some people that might pick up a game or two a week, but there might be people that had to pick up games daily. So when I was in the middle of my collecting and stuff, and I worked at Walmart, there was a Goodwill across the street. I went there every day for my lunch hour. I had an hour to go, so I'd go across the street, always searching for games. And a lot of times I felt obligated to buy games because I took the time and effort to go across there. And at the time, it was really only like $3-4 per game, so it didn't seem too bad. But I was buying sports titles. I was buying, basic racing games and basically crap that wasn't very good. And when I went to try and sell some of that stuff that I got nowadays, people didn't even want it. In fact, I almost think people would almost pay me just to keep it so they wouldn't have it on their shelves. There's actually sports titles that I threw away because it was just like, Madden 98 or, NCAA baseball, blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't worth nothing. And another game was like on PS2, Ford Racing or something, Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to buy it. So I wasted money on it. And I guess the people that really bought a bunch of games before the 2020 hit, where the market shot up, yes, they're probably making a lot of money now off this stuff. Or the people like me who occasionally got lucky and bought totes full of games, found some rare ones in there, and were able to sell it to make their money back, and then just had a bunch of games. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, guys. I'm just saying that being a little ignorant about thinking that any kind of addiction is better than others because you can make money off of it. You can make money off drug addiction. You can make money off alcohol addiction. You know how many people probably daily, if you got a drug addiction, half the time you're going to probably sell drugs too. That's how you get your supply. So it's no different than selling drugs and selling the games that you collected. You're supplying yourself, plus you're making money. So I mean, it is what it is. And with alcohol, I've known so many people that drink so much alcohol and gamble, and they win every freaking time somehow. They win. It's like they get drunk and they get lucky. I don't know. It's just freaking weird. But I don't, it's one of those things that I don't like to hear, that this kind of addiction is not any better than others. It still hurts people. It still hurts yourself. It hurts your family. You have priorities over other stuff. You know how much time I wasted searching for stuff to buy and not paying attention to one of my sons, or not paying attention to my wife, or not paying attention to important stuff maybe at work because I was too busy worrying about the next buy. That's how it is, guys. But now going on to topic number 2, people blaming investing as justifying for their collection addiction. So this can go hand in hand with the other ones. I was going to actually do 2 separate videos for this topic, but I thought that they really went together really well. So there's people that will justify addiction, their own addictions. One clarification I can have is when I started drinking and stuff like that, I kept telling myself I was doing it because I didn't like to talk to people. I was super shy. Alcohol and drugs made me more outgoing. They made me more of a party animal. They made me more likable, and that was my justification for it. It was also too is like stuff like I didn't have nothing to do today, so why not just get drunk and do nothing? I was justifying drinking. I would drink when good things happened. I would drink when bad things happened. I would drink when I was bored, and the same would go with drug use. So you can justify it all you want by any means possible, and investing is a big one that you can use. Oh, I got to buy these games today because I checked the market, or I followed the Price Mart. Wow, we're going a little Evil Dead here. But I checked the line graph at price charting, and it seems that this game is really taking off, so I better buy it now. Or these games have really dipped off in price, but I have a feeling that they're going to keep going up, so I'm gonna buy a bunch of these games because it makes me feel good. And I'm going to make money off of it in the future, so why not? I'm just going to do it. So I probably, after it's all said and done, buying games at cheaper prices, buying games at mediocre prices, retrailing high or whatever, I've probably broken even over the years. I don't even know if I really made any money off of it. Even though I had said that before, that I'm investing in this because, well, I'm going to buy these games for this price, sell them for this price, and then we can buy that vacuum we need, baby. Or just to have extra fun money for a family trip or something like that. But then in the end, you still go back and just buy more garbage. You end up with stuff that's not worth anything. A big thing I can think of at the top of my head is I didn't pay for these 1-ups behind me. But they were one was a gift and one was one on a raffle. I think I put, I didn't put much money in there and I won a raffle and I got the Pac-Man one. But if I'd go to try and sell these now, granted, I know they're not retro or whatever, but they're still gaming. They wouldn't get much for them because people don't want to pay that much for them. I think that Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet at one point was going for $400, $500. I'd be lucky to probably get $150 out of it. And the same with the Pac-Man, man. It's a light-up marquee. It's got all those games on it. It was a decent priced one. I might be lucky to get $200 out of it, and then at one point was selling for probably $500-$600. Same with any kind of console. You say that, you know, consoles are going freaking cheap. I am surprised that whenever I look up consoles, how much they're going for. They're going for cheap. People don't understand that either. By buying a bunch of consoles, a lot of times, unless you get them for very cheap, you're not winning that investment. Especially if it's missing a cord or doesn't have any controllers, you're definitely getting, you know, in the end, you're going to pay more for it. But I have seen people that will justify buying a bunch of games or justify buying a super expensive game because they're investing in their collection. It's going to be worth money down the road. I got the dopamine spikes. My serotonin's coming out. I'm feeling great. Put the game on the shelf. Okay, what's next? I need to buy more games, guys. I feel good. I got to keep investing in this collection because it's doing good. It's going to do me good one day. Why don't I have any money? Well, I can't sell these games. I invested in them. I need them. They're going to be worth more down the road. Oh, they released compilations on this. Oh, Nintendo released GameCube games as part of their Nintendo Plus membership. People can play these any way they want now on their Switch. Oh, the price seems to be going down. The market's crashing. That money that you invested in those games, a big one we can see happening right now is the graded game market is collapsing. There's people that would, at one point, when I watched the Carl Joss video, we talked about it in the video, there was somebody that invested a bunch of money into a game, tens of thousands, and went and sold it for 90% less than what they paid for it. It happens, guys, so don't just try to, I mean, these two topics are great to talk about, and I get people that tell me all the time, you know, that I make them feel like they're a hoarder, or I make them feel like they got a collection addiction, and the only thing I can say to that, guys, is I'm not telling you guys that you're this at all. I'm not telling you are. But if some of this starts resonating with you when I'm talking about this stuff, there might be an issue there. I mean, if you're going to relate to a lot of what I talk about, maybe you are addicted to doing it. Have you dealt with this before? Have you, you know, upset your wife or family because you're buying video games or buying toys or something, but then you turn around and try and say, well, I'm investing in the future. These are going to be worth a lot of money someday. Have you done that? That's justification for doing that. Even if you did make a bunch of money off of it, you caused stress to yourself, you caused stress to your family. That's one of the horrible things about addiction, guys. So I just want to leave you guys with that today. Let me know in the comments below if you found yourself ever feeling like this. Have you ever found yourself, you know, getting told that your addiction or what you like to do that you feel addicted to or prone to isn't hurting anybody because you can make money off of it or something like that? But like I said, people don't understand what this stuff can do to your family. We become selfish. Addiction is a very selfish disease. We don't think about anybody else. We just think about ourselves. And also, I want to talk, you know, make sure, have you ever, you know, yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. So I want to know in the comments below what you guys think about this subject today and if you like this video. But as always, stay retro, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video.